planners, it's Thaowie Plans and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will be memory planning the week of December 26th to January 1st, which is New Year's week. I do memory planning in my Sadie Stickers B6 planner, and I'm using this beautiful kit called Midnight from Crafts by Thaowie. If you hear quick disclaimer, if you hear any rustling or meowing or anything in the background, I have two adorable cats that I adopted in November, and at the moment they are playing quite ruckusly with each other and making a lot of noise in the background. So if you hear any of that, it is my cats. And so and I'm settling into my new normal. This was not a thing I used to have to think about before. My videos used to be relatively quiet because it just used to be me and B, and now I have two adorable little animals who are too small to sound like a herd of wild buffalo running through my house, and yet somehow they manage. Anywho, getting into the spread. I am starting off by putting down the bottom washi, which is so stunning, especially this top strip. One of my favorite things about Crafts by Thaowie kits is whenever she has a kit that has black in it, it's always so richly pigmented. And then when you see the foil, when the light catches the foil on top of it, it just sparkles amazingly and pops off that black so beautifully. So I've put down my bottom washi, moving up to the top area. I decided to make some changes with my format for this spread, and I was debating on whether or not I was going to do this spread at the end of my 2020 planner or use this as the first spread in my 2023 planner, and ultimately ended up using it to finish off my 2022 planner because I did feel like it sort of ended that year really well, since most of the week was 2022 and only Sunday was 2023. So I felt like it was a good way to just cap off and end last year. And so I'm putting down the floral washi strip that came on the journaling page across the top, and I'm also putting my days of the week in the top of the day cover deco area, which I hadn't been doing since I moved into a B6 because of the way I'd been formatting my B6 previously, in which I was sharing days throughout the column. I was sharing like Tuesday and Wednesday and then Friday and Saturday. I decided to switch up my format, and instead of doing it that way, what I've decided to do is sort of look at my planner as though it were in two rows. And so in doing it that way, it allowed me to take the first 5 days of the week across that top row, and then the second row in my column, the way I have this visually broken up in my head, was going to give me the end of the week, Saturday and Sunday. And so in doing it that way, it allowed me to start putting my days back in the date cover deco area. And then I also decided that I wanted to have my full boxes be at the bottom of the page, and I'm putting them on at the bottom of Monday and then at the bottom of Thursday and Friday. So those columns have full boxes inside of them. And then I also still have my sidebar, which is perfect for me because my favorite areas to decorate in my planner are definitely the bottom washi, date cover deco area, and the sidebar. And in being in a B6, I've really been still loving doing the day by day, which I had lost that passion when I was in A5 wide. So it's one of the reasons why a B6 planner just makes me so happy, because I feel like it keeps my excitement level high for decorating my planner, and that makes this hobby so much fun for me. So anywho, I've put down my full boxes, and I just want to decorate the headers on top of them. So these beautiful scalloped headers in the kit, and so I'm placing those on top of the full boxes, adding a little bit of floral deco on top of the scallop headers, and then bringing in some of these clusters, as well as cute little florals. The little foiled leaf accents are from Paper Trail Plans. The clusters are from Sadie Stickers. So I have a mix of like star clusters as well as confetti clusters, both from Sadie Stickers, that I used in the spread because I thought perfect for New Year's to really give it that very festive mood. And I love the way this all came together. Now that I've got my full boxes done, I'm moving over into the sidebar, and I'm starting by putting down another full box in the sidebar, which I'm really glad I did. I don't always use a full box in my sidebar, but I'm glad I did for this one because the full boxes in this kit, there were so many that I really loved, particularly the ones with the clocks in them. I just felt like that image was so pretty, and I really just loved the look of it, and perfect for New Year's. And then I'm pulling in this torn paper strip, and I've laid it down horizontally rather than using it vertically, and I'm just trimming off where it hangs over the edge of the column. I want to create a scene in this bottom section, and so she had the rose torn paper and then the grid torn paper. I love the grid torn paper. My planner friend Lauren of Plan Plan has been on a mission to spread awareness that when it comes to torn paper, prints like grid prints or abstract prints or solid colors or something more subtle, it works better when you're layering things because you can layer florals on top of it. When you have the torn paper strip that has a floral print on it, it makes it more difficult to layer in the way that we like to layer with florals in our planners. And I originally, when she said it, I was like, oh, hadn't noticed that really being too much of a big deal for me. The more I started planning with torn paper, I realized exactly what she was talking about. I was like, oh, she is so right when it comes to the torn paper. It's so much easier to utilize the ones that have a more of an abstract print rather than a floral print. Anywho, putting down this adorable fashion doll. I love her. She has these cute little gold sparkly sequin shorts on. And she just felt very festive and perfect for New Year's. And then I also pulled in these balloons from Sadie Stickers. And I loved that the balloons weren't like a solid fill because I had the numbers that came on the little add-on kit from that came with the kit that had all of the foiled stickers, and so I wanted to put 23 in the balloon for 2023, and also pulled in some of the fireworks and confetti off of that foiled add-on sheet to add some sparkle to this area. And I love the way that all came together. I'm going to finish that off by pulling in some of the streamers as well, and decorating that around the fashion doll and make this whole area feel very much like a festive New Year's party, which I feel like I say this every single year when it comes to one of my New Year's spreads, because I'm not really like a go out and party it up type of person. And so my New Year's spreads are always more festive in my planners than my actual real life plans ever are when it comes to New Year's Eve. Moving back to the day cover deco area, I'm wanting to just jazz this up with a lot more foil deco. So I'm pulling in some of the streamers from Sadie Stickers. The hanging stars are also from Sadie Stickers. And I'm also going to pull in some more of the foil confetti and then pull in date dots that are from Bloom Paper Studio. Moving into the day by day. Okay, I'm going to start off by doing something that I had a lot of fun doing because I wasn't able to do it before with my previous format. Whereas before I had like Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday stacked. And so I couldn't do things where I would go across two columns. And so I'm starting off by putting down this bottom washi, added in a label sticker from the kit. And then I'm adding some of the garlands from Sadie Stickers around it to really frame out that area. And this comes out so super cute. And I'm going to use that to mark working from home this week, and which it's super cute, and it totally looks adorable, but absolutely would have made more sense if I had done that across Tuesday and Wednesday, because technically I wasn't working from home on Monday because I had the day off, so I wasn't working that day at all. But we're just gonna skip over that little technicality and just embrace the fact that this is just super cute. And also, and it was definitely like, especially for this spread, because this was my first time trying out this kit format, or the way I decided to reformat my B6 planner going forward, because being in my B6 planner, because I knew I always wanted to have a sidebar, since I started using a B6 planner, I've been formatting it in a way that it's not the traditional way B6 spreads are formatted. And so it has been very much a learning experience for me, and a lot of trial and error. And so things are bound to be a little bit off every now and again. And so this was one of those moments where I was super excited, tried something, I was like, yay, great. And then the next thing I realized I needed to mark on Monday was, oh, I had that day off because Christmas was the day before. And so we were observing the Christmas holiday on the 26th. And so I did not have to work that day. And so I was like, you just marked work from home this week. And then, yeah. But also really awesome that I got to work from home this week, because that's always my preference, right after having a day off. Always great. And so anywho, I still love the way that came out, and once it was done, there was no way I was lifting that up because I thought it was way too cute. So I didn't care that it wasn't completely 100% accurate as to the days that it was on. And on that day, what I'm marking in this cute little third box underneath here is that I uploaded my Thanksgiving plan with me. But finishing my thought about what I was saying about this new kit format. I originally was wondering whether or not I was going to try that out for the first time with this spread, or wait till I started in my 2023 planner. I'm so glad I gave it a try with this spread, because I had been watching, I talked about it in my last video, and I had done a video on whether or not you should try out a B6 planner. And when I was doing that, I talked about the people who had inspired me when I first tried out a B6 planner in 2020. And I mentioned, oh goodness, I'm forgetting her YouTube handle at the moment. I'll put it in the video. But there was another YouTuber at the time, Lil Bow Babies, who she used to plan in both an A5 wide and a B6 planner. And in 2020, I was watching her videos, and I loved the way her B6 planner was formatted. And the way it was formatted, it was split into essentially two rows. And that was where I got the idea to go with this style of format going forward with my B6 planner. And I decided to give it a try with this spread to see if it was something that I liked and if it would work for me. And I immediately loved it. I was really happy with it. In particular, the first thing I loved was that it took the first 5 days of the week back all across one row. And I really liked the look of that. And also was really happy about being able to put my date covers back in the date cover deco area. So excited for this change, and you'll see more of this format going forward as you start seeing more of my 2023 spreads as I get them uploaded onto this channel. And I'm really enjoying it very much. On to Tuesday, I was editing a Planning 101 video. And I'm trying to remember which one that was. That's the thing when it's been a while. Oh, that must have been the layering video that I did. Oh, that was a fun one. And that one got a lot of really great feedback. So thank you all so much for that. I very much appreciate it. And then, oh, Jesus. And I marked that I was working on a production issue that we were having with Ray and Tay. And boy, that one, oh yeah, not fun. But that's business. And I definitely expected that when we started our business. Obviously, some things are going to work out really, really great and smooth and easy. And sometimes there will be challenges, and we were dealing with a challenge that day. And then I created the header for Saturday, which I love how cute that came out, pairing it with that little clip art of the shoe and the purse with the brushstroke. Oh, so adorable. Moving on to Wednesday, and I do apologize for being a little bit out of frame here. I think I'm going to scoot up in just a second, but I'm putting down one of those floral embellished scalloped ovals from the kit, and then added one of the garlands from Sadie Stickers on top of that. So beautiful. And the little airplane icon is also from Crafts by Thaowie, and I was just marking that my parents were flying home, and I was definitely paying a lot of attention to that because that was at the time that Southwest was canceling a lot of flights. And so because I knew my parents were traveling, I was paying attention to a lot to flights and things like that because I wanted to make sure they were going to get back safely, and I didn't know if they were going to experience any delays or issues, and thankfully they didn't, and everything went smoothly. So I was very happy about that. I put down a dainty divider from the Pretty Pink Co. and then pulled in one of the torn paper, not torn paper, like a journaling paper, grid paper from the journaling kit, and then layered a third box on top of that, added in some of the floral deco, and I'm using that to mark groceries. My grocery icon that I'm using there is from JK Creates Co. Next, I want to create the header for Sunday. So I'm going to repeat the same steps that I did when I was creating the header for Saturday. And I'm just going to flip it to the other side. So I'm starting by putting down some of the colorful florals, pulling in some of the clip art. I decided to go with the cute little champagne glasses, and just figuring out how I wanted to angle those, and knew I wanted to have some more florals coming out from the other sides, because when I put them down, it kind of covered up some of the florals that I had placed, and I wanted to really have a full bouquet surrounding those glasses. So I thought that came out super cute. And then I'm just going to trim one end of the brushstroke to make it easier to tuck underneath the florals, and just placing that down. And then I'm going to add in the script, trying to get that kind of an even height. Again, this is my first time trying out this format, and so I was trying to figure out exactly what placement was going to work best for all of this stuff. But I was really happy with how that came together. On to Thursday, starting by putting down one of the florals, and I trimmed it in half, and so along that sharp edge I decided to layer one of the dainty dividers from the Pretty Pink Co. And the Audible icon that I'm using there is from Crafts by Thaowie. And I was listening to The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And I heard a lot of people talking about that book, I feel like over the summer. And so decided to try it out on Audible. And I love listening to books on Audible because it makes it really easy. Like a lot of times when I'm driving or if I'm at home, like I can just turn on an Audible book, which is really nice. Sometimes it's a nice switch up to just like listening to music or a podcast or something. So I enjoy listening to books, and that one, it hooked me right away. It was so interesting, and it's always tricky when it comes to Audible books because a book can be really good, but if the person's voice that isn't reading it isn't enjoyable to listen to, then it sucks. Because it matters when it comes to Audible books, and so I don't remember the names of who was doing the voice acting for that book, but they did an excellent job. It was really enjoyable to listen to. I loved the story. I thought it was so good, and I was really getting into it, and enjoying listening to that. And again, because I was listening into it in like small snippets, just here and there when I got time, it took me a couple weeks to get through the book, but I enjoyed it every step of the way. Underneath there, I layered one of the scallop boxes with one of the square boxes. And the dishes icon is from JK Creates Co. And I marked cleaning the kitchen. And then I did a 20-minute ride on my stationary bike at home. Oh, I was definitely trying to get myself back into like the mindset of wanting to work out consistently, which I was definitely not in that mindset and hadn't been for a while. And so I whenever I'm trying to like get myself back into the groove when it comes to working out, I always try to start with like shorter increments so it doesn't feel as overwhelming. And so 20 minutes felt achievable. That's all why I always start small. On to Friday, because it was the last day of the week before a holiday weekend, I decided to clock in and start my workday early so that way I could clock out early and start my weekend early, which is exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm just marking that with the cute little memo pad that came in the kit. She also sells those little memo pads separately, and they are super adorable and fun to mark meetings and schedules and other things like that in your planner. Underneath there, I pulled in, I had a washi trim that had those tassels, and I cut it down to divider length because it was so festive and cute, and I was just like, oh yeah, definitely want to use this. It's just too adorable. And then I started watching Moon Knight on Disney Plus. I remember when that show first came out, it didn't really grab my attention, and I didn't think I was going to be that into it. I turned on the first episode just to like give it a try and be like, let's see if this actually can hold my attention. It was so immediately so good. So good. I was like, oh my goodness, look at what I've been missing out on. This is amazing. Love it. And then I did a workout and finished up Friday marking that. Moving on to Saturday, I started by marking that I uploaded my Planning 101 video. So the video that I'd been editing on Tuesday got uploaded that Saturday. And then I also marked that it was New Year's Eve. I love that shape that Crafts by Thaowie has been including in her journaling kits, where it's got that little fancy box and then she does the elaborate florals layered on top of it. And so the whole shape just ends up looking so stinking cute. And I knew I wanted to use that. And I love because I knew I was going to be using a script to mark New Year's Eve. I was like, oh, this is perfect because I can pair this with it, because obviously you can't write on top of that. So you can use it as deco, or you can use it as a background if you have a script, because once the light hits the foil, you can read the words. And I love the way that looks with script layered on top of it. So cute. Moving on to Sunday, I am marking that it was New Year's Eve, and I wanted to do that super, super big. So I pulled in the cute Polaroid from the journaling add-on, added in the chandelier dangling garland that was on the foiled add-on that came with the kit. And then I'm just decorating around this Polaroid frame with different florals. Frame and florals. Yeah, that's how you get flame, when you put those two words together unexpectedly. Alrighty. So I'm adding in florals, colorful florals, and then pulling in these cute little leaves from Paper Trail Plans that are foiled in gold to accent my florals. And I'm just decorating around this entire space. My New Year's Day script is from Paper Trail Plans as well. And then I'm going to add some more of the colorful florals to the bottom of that column to really finish off that area, because I was feeling a little bit blank in that space, and I just was like, this needs more color. So florals to the rescue, bring in that strong punch of color down at the bottom of the column. And then I finished off the Polaroid section by adding in the 2023 script that came with the kit, and I love the way that looks at the bottom of that Polaroid. It's just so perfect. So that finishes up this spread. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will see you next video. Bye.